Once your friends and family know you're getting a new puppy, you're going to probably be bombarded with suggestions of products that you simply must have. But what do you really need? Like, really? I'm Michele Lennon, and I'm not here to sell you on any toys or treats or puppy supplies. I'm actually just here to help you decide what's really helpful to have for a new puppy, and what can get a pass. So today's video is my latest in the must-have series, which is going to help you decipher what you should be putting in your shopping cart. Alright, today we're going to talk about calming tools, which you may not realize you need, but I'm here to tell you, you will. Okay, I'm sure when you think of a new puppy, you envision that adorable puppy sleeping on your lap. And yes, that happens. But puppies are a lot like babies and toddlers. Sometimes they need help calming down. And when they get overstimulated, they really need help. That's where your human brain comes in, and you can offer your puppy some of these important tools to help her settle. So let's talk about what you should have on hand, even before your puppy comes home, so she can learn to relax and snooze. After all, it's important to have the right tools in addition to the right training. First up, everyone's favorite, the snuggle puppy. Now, this should be really your #1 purchase before your puppy comes home. This stuffed dog, or they also make it in other animals, comes with a battery-operated heartbeat and a warmer. Not everyone needs to use the warmer, but the heartbeat really seems to help new puppies settle well when it comes time to leave the mama dog and the litter mates. Now, if you can, try to get the mama dog's scent on it, which will make it a better fit for snuggling. You're gonna probably find that your puppy loves to lay on it or even lay next to it. This is similar to how she sleeps with litter mates. That's why it's so helpful in the transition to being more independent. Now, when your puppy first comes home, she's probably not going to chew this comfort tool. And this is the time when the snuggle puppy is going to be most helpful anyway. But after a few weeks, watch for that chewing and move the snuggle puppy to the top of the crate to prevent any ingestion of the soft fabric or stuffing. Next up, another good one to buy before your puppy comes home, the Adaptil. Now, this is actually a diffuser that you plug into the wall. It gives off a scent that you can't detect, but your dog can. It's a pheromone similar to the one the mama dog gives off. Now, if you have it in the room where your puppy will spend most of the time, especially the room where the crate is, it's going to really help. Now, that is not a light switch effect though. This is not like Xanax for puppies, but it's an overall effect that can really help. If you look carefully next time you go to the vets, you're going to probably see them in the exam rooms. This product usually lasts about a month, so this is a good one to do that whole subscribe and save program on Chewy.com. Now, if you're wondering where to get all these, don't worry. In the description below, I have provided a link directly to them. Next on my list is a white noise machine. This machine is often very helpful to drown out sounds that could keep your puppy from sleeping well. Remember, their hearing is much better than ours, and they could awaken at the sound of a car door or a train a few miles away, or even the neighbor taking out the trash. Over time, these sounds might become normal to the puppy, but the white noise machine is something I really recommend long after your puppy grows up too. A well-rested puppy is a much more pleasant puppy to be around. If you know, you know. Here's a pro tip. Put this white noise machine between the crate and the source of the noise. So for example, if the crate is in the office and the white noise usually comes from the back wall, put the white noise machine between the crate and the back wall. This is where it will be most effective. Now, some people use a fan instead of a white noise machine. That could work okay too. Next is some kind of mechanism to play calming music. So maybe you're wondering, if I have a white noise machine, why do I also need the calming music? Well, they actually serve two purposes. The white noise machine is to block or cover up ambient noises. The music is to actually produce calming emotions in your pup. Believe it or not, Spotify and YouTube have doggy calming music playlists. I actually have one on my channel if you want to check it out. Although these playlists have been created to please dogs, your dog is a unique creature, so he may prefer something different. My team member Allison says that my YouTube videos are Lincoln's favorite noise to nap to. He's usually napping during our Zoom calls, so he just associates the sound of my voice with napping. Whatever works for you, Lincoln, it's fine with me. The next thing I want you to consider is a cover for the crate. Most puppies really need the crate covered in order to rest well. All that outside stimuli will likely keep them awake, so the cover is basically making it nice and boring in their crate. It also keeps in some heat, so that makes it even better for sleeping. But this cover is actually not a product I recommend you buy. It's actually better to make it on your own. You see, most covers sold online or in stores fit the crate just perfectly, but that means that the cover is reachable by a puppy with curious brains and functional teeth. Many puppies will pull the cover into the crate or manage to get a hold of it to chew on. This is a hazard. I recommend getting a board to cover the top of the crate and make it a few inches larger than the crate. Then the cover can fall down on the sides but still not touch it, and the puppy can't get to it either. This is really good for airflow too. Next, I want you to consider the environment that you're going to need for calming. Think about where you feel most calm. It's likely a place with only quiet noises or low lights and not too many distracting smells either. For a dog with better hearing and smell than you have, these things are really important. And yes, the low lights really help too. One of my students mentioned that she had not been lowering the lights when it came time for her dog's nap, and he was really struggling. One day, she had the curtains drawn and the lights low when he came in from his potty break. A short chewing session later, and he was snoozing. What a good boy. She told me she wished she had done it earlier. She would have had a much easier time getting that pup to nap. Now, the room darkening is just part of the pre-nap routine. Routines are great for dogs, just like kids. Keep in mind that smells around you are a lot more intense for your dog. I'm going to be a big party pooper here and recommend you do not have scented candles or air fresheners or most essential oil diffusers in your home. These smells are just way too intense for dogs. Can you imagine trying to take a nap in the perfume store? How could you even relax? One of my students who was struggling with crate training joined us at the pro level of the online course with her dog, Donut. As we were talking on a Zoom call about Donut's crate situation, she shared that the crate was in the laundry room, and yet the dog kept falling asleep in a different room on the AC vent. Now, we put our puppy detective hats on, and we recommended that she move the crate as close as possible to the AC vent, and definitely out of the smelly laundry room. She did it, and it worked. She also increased the crate training games that she was doing with Donut, and overall she saw some great success in a short amount of time. Now, another one of my students did the same thing. Her pup Nico was really struggling in the crate, but he seemed to love to nap in their sunroom. They moved the crate to the sunroom and boom, Nico had success. Sometimes we forget that dogs have preferences, but if we pay attention and we try to accommodate them, it can really work well. Now, I've got 2 more tips on making sure the crate is as comfortable as possible for calming. And then I'm going to give you a few more ideas on how puppies naturally soothe themselves and how you can use that in your favor. Many people think that bedding in the crate is going to create a nice cozy environment for a good snooze. But in fact, this is really just a hazard, especially at a young age. Like the snuggle puppy, a blanket for mom and dog might be okay, but once teething kicks in a few short weeks, the softer stuff needs to be removed from the crate. It's fine until it's not fine, and with bedding in the crate, it can become not fine in a moment. Do you have any idea how much time and money it costs to have emergency surgery to remove a blockage in your pet? I used to work at a vet clinic, and it was always a shock to the owners who had to pay for it. And of course, it was so stressful for the dog. All right, one more final tip on the crate. Make sure it's actually the right size. Just like you can't get comfortable in bed that's just too small, sometimes we forget to adjust the crate size as the dog grows. Of course, you want to make it not too big or not too small at all, but just watch it carefully and make sure the crate gets upgraded when the dog gets bigger. Here's a good video on how to determine the right size crate for your dog, so check that out if you're not sure. Now, I know you don't want to make the crate too big because you're probably working on potty training, but I promise you, the crate size is not your #1 potty training tool. Yes, a smaller crate could prevent your dog from creating a potty spot away from a sleep spot, but there are much better ways to work on potty training while still keeping the crate size comfortable. Now, if you need to know about those better ways for potty training, just check out my free digital new puppy starter kit. The link's below. It's going to teach you the 4 fundamentals of how to get your pup to go potty outside. All right, 2 final things on what you can do to help your puppy settle. But before I share them today, are you loving this video? I hope so. My team and I put a lot of effort into creating these videos for you. If you'd like to show your appreciation, you could use the YouTube's Thanks feature. Subscribing to the channel and sharing this video with other puppy parents also helps us. Okay, here are 2 things that I think you'll need to purchase. I recommend getting things to lick and things to chew. Licking is a proven stress reliever for dogs. When they lick, their brains settle and hormones are released that can help them calm down as well. Some dogs will lick as an automatic response to stress, but we can also use that in our favor by creating licking opportunities. Now, we recommend things like a licky mat, a West Paw topple, a Kong, or another toy where you can add food to lick out. Now, I spend a great weekend evaluating all different options and testing them out with my dogs. So you can learn from my research by watching this video. Now, there are a lot of other varieties of these 3 products, so try a few different ones and allow some novelty for your pup. Chewing has a similar calming effect on dogs, so it's great to use as a calming tool or pre-nap routine. Now, as for chewing products, well, Nylabones and Benebones are my favorite. You can also offer things like bully sticks or chew toys, but just watch carefully. Sometimes the bully stick can cause an upset tummy if the dog has it for too long, or some chews just aren't durable enough for super chewers. If you have a super chewer, check out this video, which includes one particular product I totally recommend. I even have a discount code for you. Finally, if you have some of these licking or chewing products and you find it difficult to get your pup to focus on them, try these pro tips to help your pup engage with chewing and licking. Evaluate your dog's chew preference and duplicate it at the moment. And if your dog loves the wooden table leg, she's probably not going to be as easily distracted with a rubber bone. But if she loves the fabric and your shoes, maybe a hard plastic bone won't be very interesting to her right then either. Try to have a variety of textures available so you can better match your puppy's interest, and be prepared for her interest to change as she grows. You also might have to make the item more interesting for her to engage with. You could dip it in pet-safe bone broth and freeze it. You could smear it with peanut butter or yogurt, or you could store it in the treat bag so it absorbs some smells. Just take a few extra steps to make it especially enticing and enjoyable, and you're gonna have better success. All right, I mentioned this before, but dogs really appreciate novelty with toys, treats, and chews. After all, these busy noses are always trying to learn new things about the world they live in. So be sure to have a nice rotation of chew and licky toys, and rotate the consumable content as well. Okay, you've got a lot of great tips today, and you have just a few things I recommended that you purchase. Now you're armed with some fantastic knowledge on how to help your dog settle a little bit better. In the comments below, tell me, how old is your dog? And which one of these tools is your favorite? Or your puppy's?